Okay, so we have David Jaffe just, stepping on a landmine. This man threw himself on the landmine, you know? Like, dude, it's when you come for Vera Dark, you best not miss. I was watching Vera back when she had like 40,000 subs, something like that. Um, so it's good to see her getting recognition now. This ends up going off about her being successful because she's a woman, but at the same time that she's a mental lightweight, and just going off on her. And you can tell when you watch the actual video that he's spurred, he's like on the verge of like, he's triggered. And it's weird that, everybody made a video about him. Why did he go after Vera? Weird, right? Why go after Vera when much bigger YouTubers, Asmongold, I'm sure like Hypnotic and stuff like that did? Why'd you go after Vera? And then when you go after Vera, you put her down using her gender as a woman. So, we're going to add those things up, just like, and then going by your standard, that is very misogynistic, right? Or, oh no, is that something you use to demonize your political opponents? She's been saying this for years. She's had this channel for years and has been saying this for years, back when it wasn't cool to say so. Okay? So when you have a literal grifter calling you a grifter, yeah, she's going to take some exception to being called a grifter about this stuff when finally people are starting to understand and see what's going on. And that side of the aisle way of coping is to say, oh, it's a grifter, because their whole playbook has been thrown out. Their playbook before used to be like, oh, you're a ist, right? You're a racist, you're a sexist, you're whatever ends in ist, because I can just blanket you that and it's over, because I can't refute what you're saying. Well, that has worn its welcome. That worn out until they have no meaning for the word. Do they care about the word and having no meaning for the word and the issue? Absolutely not. They just move on to the next word. So they wore out those words, and they seen that, people saw through it. So they're like, we'll call them grifter now, because, whatever they're saying, we can't refute. We can't argue. We just say grifting. You'll notice it on mainstream media, and all the big outlets will say this word, which is why it's funny to me. I seen a video of Jaffe's where he says, he's coping so hard at the end of something he's saying about this situation. And he's like, and people don't even listen to me, that it's really the elites and they're getting us to fight each other. Are you talking about the elites that you agree with on every single thing? You defend on the internet all day long? Elites, corporations, their products, their right to tell us do whatever they want. Isn't that what you do? The elites think the same exact way that you do. Those elites that are trying to pit us against each other. And the other funny thing about that is, that's what the other side says. That's the whole thing, is that this is coming from elites, and this is an agenda coming from elites to impose on society, and it's dividing society. You understand that part, but you drink their Kool-Aid. I don't get. It's like, yeah, these elites, man, they're poisoning us with this Kool-Aid as you have a mug full of the Kool-Aid. Like, you're halfway there, but that kind of at the same time makes you more crazy, because you defend the elites and you have every single same thought and view as those elites. But anyways, yeah, he got big mad at Vera for, the whole thing where he called people grifters. And of course, you know, you're going to call a bunch of people, that generalize a bunch of people as grifters because that's what you heard, buzzwords that you heard from your buddies, because it's exactly like we've been saying, exactly the same situation as return to form is the same thing they do with these buzzwords and whatever the plan is to oppose the enemy, the opposition. They always have the same words and lingo at the same time. Now, you see Kind of Funny saying grifters, Jaffe saying grifters, I think Jason Schreier has, you know, if you ask them in private, they sure will say that. But you know what I mean? This crowd says grifters now, recently. The same crowd was before saying, they're still saying alt-right and stuff like that. But I'm saying they kind of left that down the tier list for grifter now. Because that's, you know, are they going to say the same alt-right for years? Meanwhile, people are jumping ship and joining the alt-right. You know the whole thing about being crazy, right? Being crazy, you know, when you think that everybody else is crazy, you might want to look in the mirror. You know what I mean? Like, if people are jumping your little tribe, they're dropping like flies, and they're coming over to the other side, at what point do you wait? And the other side has things that you can't refute. And you guys have these little word games and these little things that you think like, oh, if I talk about this and that, it refutes. But even that, everybody sees through all that BS. People see through all the little, they see now finally that you guys don't care about truth and facts. You care about bending the truth and facts to fit your narrative. And if there is no truth there, you'll just say grifter, right? Or alt-right or something else. But I'm talking, like, who's paying you, dude? Like, why don't you just wake up and say, and smell the coffee? Like, I don't get it, because a lot of these people acted like this is how they got progressive in the first place, is by kind of like public shaming, you know? And their little elite buddies having the same opinion, and, you know, news saying, oh, hate the orange man. This guy said hate the orange man. Am I going to be the only one who does it? So then it permeates, and then all of a sudden you have a negative feeling towards him, and then you're David Jaffe. And then the whole party. And then you're just a billboard. You're just a walking ideological billboard. So yeah, Jaffe, I doubt you'll hear this, but I mean, wake up, smell the coffee, dude. That's my advice. Like, you're not the hero fighting the fight. You are in a losing battle because your straw men don't work. The straw men don't work anymore. It has never been about the actual issues. Like when you guys say, oh, you hate gays, you hate this and that, you don't know. You see, we think that it's the opposite. We think that you guys use those people. And in fact, it's been proven. Use those people as shields and to virtue signal to boost your own narcissism up. So it's kind of the opposite of what you guys say you're doing, and we see through it. Like, that's the whole point. So we actually care. That's why do you think there's LGBTQ and blacks and minorities made up the vote this election? Why do you think that is? Is it because and Cubans in Florida, Miami went red? Why do you think that is? Cubans that came over here on a raft, some missing limbs, some probably almost dying of starvation. You know, the ones that you virtue signal and say you care about. They did all that to escape communism. And then they come here and they see people like you that want to implement it. That's just insane. And you say, no, are you crazy? No, you're crazy, because what you're doing leads to that. That's why if you take the past like 8 years especially, but let's just say decade, Under your guys' views, it has regressed and regressed and regressed to where it's the culture that you want, woke, is Marxism. You want people to be judged by their everything else but their character. Individuality is gone. A hive mind. You must think the same way. And you must not criticize this, but criticize that. No. That's not how it works, dude.